Good Monday evening, August 4th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. 4 homes were lost Sunday in the Brooks Tract Fire near Omak. The Chalan County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting that occurred at the Shell gas station in Desert Aire on Saturday. Our mild temperatures will continue tomorrow with possible showers for Wednesday and Thursday. Your full local weather forecast is coming up. Chalan County says it will appeal a judge's ruling that requires the county jail to house Wenatchee police detainees. Judge Travis Brandt ruled last month that Chalan County cannot terminate its jail contract with the city until it undergoes arbitration to settle the agreement. Wenatchee filed a lawsuit against the county in March, saying the Chalan County Regional Justice Center was improperly refusing to book many inmates brought in by city police on low-level offenses. Chalan County's Board of Commissioners sought to cancel the contract by the end of this month, but Brandt's ruling keeps the agreement in place. Chalan County filed a notice on Friday that it would ask the Washington Court of Appeals to review Brandt's decision. No hearing on that matter has yet been scheduled. A Moses Lake man is dead after a 2-car collision on Highway 28 near Soap Lake on Saturday. The Washington State Patrol says it was approximately 6:30 a.m. when a 2014 Kia Soul driven by 20-year-old Chloe R. Goforth of Wenatchee was traveling eastbound and struck a 2007 Nissan Murano when attempting a left turn onto northbound Highway 17. Goforth had not been wearing a seatbelt and was transported to Confluence Health Hospital Central Campus for her injuries. The driver of the Nissan Murano, 39-year-old Ricardo Alcantar Messina of Moses Lake, was pronounced dead at the scene. Both vehicles were totaled. Troopers say intoxication was not a factor in the crash, and the precise cause remains under investigation. 4 homes were lost Sunday in the Brooks Tract Fire near Omak. The fire just east of the city along the Okanagan River was reported just before 3:30 p.m. near Brooks Tract Road and swept east along Highway 155. Authorities quickly ordered Level 3 evacuation notices in the fire's path. Overnight, fire managers say it destroyed 4 homes and an unknown number of outbuildings. Temporary shelters were opened for those displaced by the emergency, and a state mobilization brought fire resources from outside the area. Roads and highways in the area have reopened after being closed by fire activity, and evacuation levels were lowered to Level 1. A Chalan man is seeking millions from Chalan County, claiming prosecutors withheld evidence that proved his innocence of rape and assault charges. Our media partner, the Wenatchee World, reports that Darren D. Hunter last week filed a $5 million tort claim for wrongful imprisonment, among other grievances. Hunter was arrested in July of 2023 after a woman, a police informant, told sheriff's deputies he'd raped and assaulted her. All charges were eventually dismissed about a year after his arrest, but Hunter spent 4.5 months jailed at the Chalan County Regional Justice Center and nearly another 200 days under house arrest. His attorneys claim that prosecutors withheld video footage and DNA evidence that would have exonerated him. A tort claim is the precursor to a formal lawsuit. When we come back, one of the last defendants in a 2024 shooting incident in Bridgeport is expected to enter a guilty plea in Douglas County Court, and North Central Washington voters will determine the outcome of several tax and fire district measures tomorrow night. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
In 1964, two high school pals opened up a pizza parlor. Over 60 years later, their mission of providing a great value and family-friendly environment continues to thrive. And what's been their customers' favorite pizza since day one? The Abby's Special. This classic combo of pepperoni and salami with olives, mushrooms, beef, and sausage, and 100% real cheese tastes as good today as it did way back then. Enjoy great value and classic pizza at your neighborhood Abby's.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
The Grant County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting that occurred at the Shell gas station in Desert Aire on Saturday. The Sheriff's Office reports that it was roughly 5:30 p.m. when deputies received a call saying that someone had been shot at the gas station. When deputies arrived on the scene, they located a 22-year-old man from Mattawa with life-threatening injuries. The man was transported to an undisclosed hospital for treatment of his injuries. The Sheriff's Office says the detectives have gathered evidence and will continue to investigate. One of the last defendants in a 2024 shooting incident in Bridgeport is expected to enter a guilty plea in Douglas County Court. 23-year-old Isaac Garcia Ramirez is one of three brothers arrested after shots were fired from a passing vehicle at a residence near Richards Avenue and Highway 173. No one was injured. Garcia is charged with first-degree assault and related weapons offenses. One of Garcia's brothers was sentenced in December to a drug treatment option, while another faces charges in Okanagan County. A fourth man, 28-year-old Rosendo Saucedo, pleaded guilty last fall to charges including drive-by shooting and was sentenced to 4.5 years. Isaac Garcia is expected to accept a plea deal before Judge Brian Huber on August 25th. North Central Washington voters will determine the outcome of several tax and fire district measures tomorrow night. 3 Chalan County Fire District have items on August 5th ballots. A levy lift in Dryden, a $15 million bond for facility improvements in Lake Wenatchee, and the addition of 2 fire commissioners in Manson. The city of Wenatchee will also learn the fate of its proposed sales tax to pay for street improvements through the creation of a transportation benefit district encompassing the city. Primary races in Chalan County with multiple candidates include Chalan City Council and the Kashmir and Manson school boards. In Okanagan and Douglas counties, the Public Hospital District is asking voters to approve a special $1.4 million one-year property tax to expand healthcare facilities and services. Ballot drop boxes close tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Coming up next, the former Planned Parenthood clinic at 900 Ferry Street has a new tenant. More on that coming up in tonight's feature story. Very mild temperatures are expected through the week with possible showers midweek. I'll have your full local weather forecast straight ahead as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms. The pitch by Busic. Swung on and missed. The Wenatchee Apple Sox are back in the playoffs. Join NCWLIFE channel this Friday for Game 1 of the West Coast League North Division playoffs. It's brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, and Highlander Golf Course and Grill. NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station.
The former Planned Parenthood clinic at 900 Ferry Street has a new tenant. Chalan Douglas Volunteer Attorney Services is a nonprofit legal aid foundation helping clients with civil cases who might otherwise not be able to afford an attorney. The agency doesn't deal with criminal matters but offers legal advice on matters ranging from divorce to eviction. Its new headquarters is a $1.5 million commitment. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE News spoke with Eloise Barshis, the executive director, to learn more about the organization and its new home.
We are a civil legal aid organization. Our organization serves folks who are low income, and specifically for our organization, have a case in or live in Chalan or Douglas County and have a lower income. And these are civil matters that are not historically offered any legal assistance, right? If you're in a family law case or you're getting divorced, you don't have the right to an attorney. And in the defense and in criminal cases, folks have a right, the right to remain silent, you have the right to an attorney. So we're offering a service that doesn't exist, really. And it's free, and it's offered by attorneys, volunteer attorneys. And in 2002, Russ Bidell and the Bar Association took this on and said, let's create an organization, a nonprofit that will carry this mission forward. So it's grown a lot since then. We just have about 50 to 55 folks that are just regular folks, regular volunteers. Some donate their time once a year. Some are here once a month. So there isn't a set requirement. It's really what's the person's motivation and inspiration is. And then the other piece that's a little bit unique and part of our growth is we also have some contracted attorneys, because we can't have a walk-in clinic every Tuesday now from 2 to 4. We can't have a walk-in clinic every Tuesday and count on volunteers. So we have a contracted attorney that we pay to spend that time to ensure that we always have, and that person's bilingual. And we always have 2 people here, so that's a great thing. And we have a couple of contracted attorneys that we work with. And the state also gives us some funding around eviction defense because of the new law. So eviction defense and right to counsel are also contracted attorneys. Family law is a big area for us to offer support. So there's examples where, there might be a mother, for example, a mother of a couple of children, and they no longer want to be in that relationship. They may or may not have had an income or a job. So they're coming to us without income or very low income, possibly supporting their children, and they want to get out of that relationship, but they want to get out of it fair and equitably. And so that's an example. Housing is another big area. So folks who are facing eviction, disputes with the landlord, sometimes they haven't gotten their damage deposit back. And so we're able to guide them, and sometimes our attorneys will then just draft a letter reminding the landlord what the law is. So that's another example. And we also facilitate what's called an eviction defense clinic. And that's for folks who have gotten the notice of, like, you have 30 days to leave or 20 days to pay or vacate, right? So there's that notice comes, and then our attorney will meet with them, talk about what that means, how can they resolve it if it's a pay or vacate situation. If it turns into an eviction, an unlawful detainer, we are a part of a team of folks who then provide counsel to that individual. Bankruptcy, someone has medical debt, other debt, they can have a consultation, and then our volunteers will help them vacate that bankruptcy, that debt. Some folks have come to us because they've been terminated from employment and doesn't feel fair, right to them. And sometimes we're able just to provide, through our attorneys, not me, through our attorneys, some guidance about, is it fair? Is it lawful? What's the recourse? People come about lemon cars, and not everything that people bring to us can we help. But I think the real asset of our program is we have a walk-in clinic, and we have this opportunity and sort of almost the dignity to talk to someone to find out, does this issue have a legal recourse? We had a great space that worked for us when we moved there. We started at Okanagan and Old Deaconess Building, and then transitioned into the space at 18 South Mission, and is a little over 1,000 square feet. Didn't have any windows and didn't have any really street parking, just street parking, no specific parking, just a couple of office spaces, one private meeting space, and including meeting staff were sharing offices. So this space that's 5,000 square feet offers us opportunity for private consultations, more of them, more flexibility, because sometimes we have to say no to the volunteer attorney because our office space wasn't available for that consultation. So now we have a lot more opportunity to say yes, and we have this new community space. And again, we really see ourselves as like building bridges and working together with folks. So having a space that other members can use is a part of it too.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast, and I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Boy, no complaints really weather-wise. Nice and mild on Sunday, a little hot for Saturday at 92 degrees, but all in all, a beautiful early August weekend, and we've got some hot weather to talk about. We'll do that in a second, but first, outside our weather window we go from this afternoon, and we're looking at outside our Billy Goat camera up in northern part of our viewing area in Okanagan County. You can see Pateros right there, Brewster just a little farther up, and some cloudiness along the Canadian border, even a little bit of haze from that Omak fire that we talked about earlier in the broadcast. So that's creating a little bit of haze, but still air quality pretty good around our area. We do have some showers to tell you about. Temperatures will stay on the mild side. And then as we get, I think especially Wednesday, about a 40% chance of rain, a 30% chance of rain on Thursday, and cool. We will be just above 80 degrees on Thursday. And then a warming trend begins as we get into Friday. More on that coming up as well. Today's high temperature unofficially just below our normal at 86. 89 is where we should be for this time of year. Scorching hot day, and that's why that record's been around for so long. 109 set in 1961. We were right on the mark for our overnight low this morning, 64, and that's normal for this time of year. Our record low, 53, and that was set in 1962. Sunrise 5:43 this morning and sets tonight at 8:30. Getting you in now to your Tuesday temperatures, almost a carbon copy of today. Lots of 86s on our map. From Moses Lake into Ephrata, Quincy, Wenatchee, we will see another 86 degree a day, Entiat as well, and then just slightly warmer as we move north into Chalan, Omak, the warm spot tomorrow at 88. The cool spot, still pretty nice, Lake Wenatchee tomorrow at 82 degrees. All right, tonight we expect mostly clear skies. Once again, there's our ridge of high pressure, but this area of low pressure off the British Columbia coast will slide across Canada the next couple of days, and that'll kick off some showers. Cool tonight with low temperatures right around 60 degrees on Tuesday. You can see it, the gray area, high clouds for our Tuesday and mild. We'll see highs a lot like today into those mid-80s, and then things get a little wetter as we get you into the middle part of the week. Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies. There's that mini trough of low pressure, that low that will continue its eastward trek. That'll kick off some showers on Wednesday. Mostly cloudy, and look at that, about at least a 40% chance of rain, maybe even some thunderstorms. Cooler as well, low to mid 80s for your high on Wednesday. Some high clouds for Thursday. Our showers become a little more scattered and concentrated in northeast Washington. We still have a 30% chance of the wet stuff. High temperatures Thursday in the mid 80s. And then for Friday, our weather stabilizes and dries out somewhat. Another area of large high pressure moves in. We'll warm up on Friday into the upper 80s to end our work week. And then this weekend, it looks nice, especially if you like hotter weather. Sunny on Saturday. Look at that, hardly a cloud in all of Washington. We'll warm up into the low 90s on Saturday afternoon, and we will continue that upward trend in temperatures as we get you into the end of the weekend. prediction for Sunday. Lots of sunshine. Look at that, almost all across the western United States. Nothing but sun, and we will climb into the mid-90s. All right, your 7-day forecast now. Overnight tonight, 61 degrees. Open up those windows overnight tonight. It should feel pretty good. 86 our high tomorrow. 83 with the 40% chance of rain on Wednesday. That goes down to a 30% chance of the wet stuff on Thursday. But look at those temperatures. 82 degrees for our high on Thursday before we jump right back to about normal for Friday and 88. And then hot this weekend. Sunny on both Saturday and Sunday. 93 Saturday and 95 your high temperature on Sunday. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
The pitch by Busich. Swung on a miss. The Wenatchee Apple Sox are back in the playoffs. Join NCWLIFE channel for live coverage this Friday of Game 1 of the West Coast League North Division playoffs. Coverage is brought to you in part by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Tacos Chava, Together for Youth, and Valley Tractor. NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station.
NCWLIFE channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel. The Mariners are poised to make a move down the stretch after winning 3 of 4 from Texas over the weekend. Sunday's game featured some great plays and home runs by Jorge Polanco, Julio Rodriguez, and J.P. Crawford in a 5-4 victory.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Polanco DHing today. Out to right field. It is back, and he's taken DeGrom deep for the second time this year. Jorge Polanco gets the Mariners on the board.
Goldie, that pitch was, yes, it was middle, but it's still 99 with 2 strikes against Jacob DeGrom for some of the nasty stuff in the game. Tell you what, Polanco is red hot right now.
Number 18 this year for Jorge. What a wild year it's been for Polanco, huh?
Absolutely.
That brings up Julio with the tying run aboard. Julio cracks this high the opposite way. It is back in, and it's gone! Julio! Career home run number 100, and it comes off one of the game's greats and Jacob DeGrom. Julio Rodriguez, the first ever in baseball history to begin a career with 4 consecutive 2020 seasons. Keeps the inning alive for J.P. Crawford. High drive, right field, does it have it? It has it, and it's gone! J.P. Crawford with a go-ahead blast with 2 outs in the 4th inning.
Tell you what, Goldie, the Mariners are teeing off on Jacob DeGrom, and they're able to recognize some of the breaking pitches and the changeup. JP just gears up for it. A swing.
First time this year DeGrom has given up 3 homers in a start. Julio staying busy. Julio tracking this. Julio makes the catch. Haggerty on his way. Here's the tag, and he's safe at second. That was close.
Yeah, this might get another look right here. Let's get that tag on the chest.
They want a challenge.
Yeah.
Well, the Mariners are kind of in the same boat as the Rangers, right?
Yeah, why not? Man, Haggerty got a good jump there. He could just pick up the minute Munoz was going. We'll get another look at this tag.
Seattle, the challenge on the state call at second.
And you see the foot coming off the base. If the glove was still, if Cole Young had his glove still on Haggerty, is that foot got to the base and came off.
Oh, I mean, there seems like there's a gap of time between his foot and his hand when Young's glove is on his chest.
And then Haggerty had a good jump, man. We know how good he can run, but Calgan not
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out.
Well, they're on their feet now. Rangers down to their final out on a huge throw from Cal Raleigh. That is it. Munoz strikes out Langford, and the Mariners win it. They have taken the series. They win 3 out of 4 against the Texas Rangers and are within 2.5 games of the Houston Astros.
Seattle has the day off today before hosting the White Sox in the first of 3 games tomorrow night at 6:40. That'll be on Root Sports Northwest. Seattle's win Sunday, combined with Boston's sweep of Houston, brings the Mariners to within 2.5 games of the Astros for first place in the American League West. Athletics fell to Arizona 6-5, while the Angels beat the White Sox 8-5. The Mariners have solidified themselves into the 3rd wildcard playoff spot, 2 games in front of Texas. Seattle trails the Yankees by just a half game for the 2nd wildcard spot after the Yankees were swept by Miami. Boston's sweep of Houston vaults the Red Sox into the top wildcard playoff spot. Cleveland is 3 games behind Seattle after a 5-4 loss to Minnesota. Royals are 3.5 games back after a 7-4 win over Toronto. Tampa Bay is 5 games out after a 3-0 loss to the Dodgers. Well, the Seahawks practiced Saturday at Lumen Field in front of several thousand rabid fans. It was more like practice than a mock game as the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd teams faced off against each other. Coach Mike McDonald said it felt great to be back inside their home stadium.
Great to be back at Lumen. Good to see everybody. Great practice. Great show out from the 12s. It was a great atmosphere. Music was bumping. Guys were into it. You know, we've gone the whole week now, so you know they're pretty sore. But great spirits and great practice. So day off tomorrow, and then we'll be back at it on Monday morning.
What'd you like, Mike?
I just think the spirit of our group right now and like the intention of what we're trying to achieve is spot on. It's right where we need it. I mean, we're not perfect by any stretch. A lot of things that that we're chasing right now, and we're kind of done with the install phase. So we were talking about the other day is, hey, now we're circling back and let's focus on getting really good at what we do.
Seattle's preparing to host Las Vegas on Thursday night in the preseason kickoff at Lumen Field. That'll kick off at 7 o'clock. It'll be on King 5 TV. The Apple Sox lost the series to Bellingham over the weekend, but still made the playoffs. The Bells wrapped up a series win Sunday by taking down Wenatchee 10-5 at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. The game was tied 3-3 in the top of the 8th when Bellingham scored 7 runs, bringing 12 batters to the plate. Wenatchee secured a playoff spot with a win on Saturday and will host a first-round game coming up this Friday. Edmonton and Victoria were both winners Sunday, putting the Riverhawks and Harbor Cats into a first-place tie in the second-half standings. Edmonton and Victoria, the only 2 left who can claim the second-half title. They'll play a doubleheader tonight with more games to play coming tomorrow and on Wednesday. Well, Christmas came early at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval over the weekend. Quincy's Glenn Knutson found a gift-wrapped first-place finish under the tree in the Rockstar Energy B-Mod main event. Wenatchee's Jan Evans was second, followed by Sela's Patrick Cesny. Presents were threefold in the Plum Perfect Roadrunner main event, with East Wenatchee's Jason Walker taking the checkered flag. Sela's Dave Scott was second, followed by East Wenatchee's Spencer Hamilton. Pilot Rock Oregon's Kedrick Preston was apparently a good boy on the good list as he drove his number 17 Crown Vic stock car to the Apple Valley Pumping main event win. Cashmere's Jamie Nyenhouse was second, followed by Lacey's Ron Wilbur. Santa found plenty of good little girls and boys in the B&T Towing Youth Roadrunner main event, filling Wenatchee's Kellen Ingram stocking with a first-place trophy. Second place went to Ephrata's McKenna Lutz. Third went to Yacobo Valley's Cody Griffith. Columbia River Throwdown will take center stage this Saturday at the Oval, featuring the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars, Knutson General Contracting Bandolero Zero Handicap Mini Bombers, and the Angel Bail Bond Legends. Gates open at 4:30. Racing gets underway at 6 o'clock. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Monday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.